Good morning.
Good morning. Good morning, everybody.
It's Wednesday, the 13th of May. We're awake. Or we're not.
Or
this
yeah,
is all
are we?
one big dream.
Bruh.
Who's to say, really?
What if the reason 2020 was so bad is just because we all were, like, collectively gassed in some sort of weird warfare?
Can it be a gas leak year? Can we say 2020 was a gas leak year for the entire world?
Freaking wish, but we all said that we were like, 2020 is going to be great, turn of the century.
Right.
2019 blew. And then maybe Russia's just, like, secretly gassing us, and so we all just are, like, collectively having this horrible fever dream. Could that be true? Is that good news?
Yeah. I don't. Yeah, is that better?
Don't know.
It is Wednesday, my dudes. I don't know why I didn't start it.
Kyle, take care of yourself. You were looking rough yesterday.
Yep, still feeling rough today, but it's all right. Today is
You
about
slept all night.
getting back on track.
Did you have a bad dream
that was
or something?
The start. No, I slept too hard. If anything, I think I just didn't finish waking up.
Accurate.
My brain is still filled with cotton balls. I have my ears are clogged up too. It's off to a good start. It's fine. I'm gonna exercise for like 2 hours after this, and then I'm gonna clean everything. It's gonna be good.
Inferno asked if we can get 2015 back.
Yeah, for real.
Did I know you? Oh, I did know you.
Yeah,
We just weren't
2015 was the first best year of my life.
What was the best year of your
When
life?
I started. The next 5 years were honestly really solid. 2015 through like 2018 were probably like
5 years, huh?
the best period so far.
It's 3 years.
No, that's not right.
2015 to 2018?
Pretty sure it was 5 years.
Yeah, that's you're right. You're right. Very well. Let's
Sure, it wasn't perfect for everybody.
Let's just start with a story because my brain is just like
It's a good idea.
it's just nothing.
Give us something to latch onto.
All right. Let's make it one of these days.
I think the idea is starting next Monday, we're gonna kick in our new schedule.
Yeah.
Because we were supposed to come up with that over the weekend for the new week, but we didn't because I was busy.
Things we didn't do.
Yeah.
That was cute.
That'd be a new segment.
But yeah, no, this new stuff happening next week. We got a sample of Kyle Explains Things. We'll keep that going for a while.
Sure, why not? I don't remember what I talked about yesterday. I remember absolutely nothing about yesterday's show.
Magnets.
Right, yeah. Okay.
Okay. So, starting it off one of these days, because I know it'll get you going, it says, Sony reportedly fired Tobey Maguire as Spider-Man and nearly replaced him with Jake Gyllenhaal because they suspected Tobey of taking an injury to negotiate bigger pay. Of faking an injury to negotiate bigger pay. Imagine what Spider-Man could have been.
Mysterio.
Jake Gyllenhaal does other things that aren't Mysterio.
But he
Also,
did that in Spider-Man, so it's a relevant thing to bring up.
He was such a good Mysterio.
Yes, he was.
Jake Gyllenhaal was such a heartthrob, though. Tobey Maguire was not.
Did he do anything other than Spider-Man?
I think he started on Spider-Man, right?
I know he's in other things. I've seen him in other things, but that must be the thing that like he's
that 70s show
remembered the most for, right? Was he in that 70s show?
No, it's the other guy.
Oh, okay.
Topher Grace.
Oh, right.
But yeah, no. Everything could have been so different.
They were planning on recasting him like in between movies, like the movie had already come out, or
let's see. Well, I don't know. That's just the headline that I got, but
all right. Sorry, I forgot follow-up questions are not a thing here.
Yeah, I don't know. It doesn't say. Who knows why? Apparently, there's a lot of stuff about Tobey Maguire being difficult to work with, and got really bad into drugs.
Oh,
makes sense.
I did not know that information.
I think Jake Gyllenhaal would have been a good Spider-Man.
Jake Gyllenhaal's a good everything, so yeah, of course he would have been.
Yeah. No, that sounds right, actually.
Drayon says Kyle is Andrew Garfield with better hair, and that's one of the best compliments I've ever gotten. So I actually liked the Andrew Garfield Spider-Man. Me and Ian are standouts in that.
In the what?
In that category, we
That's my favorite Spider-Man too.
Yeah, you can't. you agreed with us, which was one of the probably one of the reasons we got married.
I didn't have a Spider-Man opinion. Oh, is it? I didn't have a Spider-Man opinion. I had watched the originals, but again, like they just didn't. Nothing about Spider-Man inherently appeals to me. I watched the originals, and they presented me with Mary Jane, and I went, I'll go.
True. The thing that the Amazing Spider-Man series had that objectively over anybody else, and I will still argue this point pretty strongly, is Gwen Stacy is the best female character in a superhero movie.
She might be the best female character of all time that ever created.
She was done incredibly well. I couldn't pick which word I was going to use. She's not even like
a main character.
No, but she was
She's so good.
But she was great. She was so like good. That was the. I'm blanking on. My brain will not recall information today, so I don't remember the actress's name right now.
Emma Stone.
Right? Yeah.
Could have just asked.
But her as Gwen Stacy was perfect. That was the that one part of those movies.
I really don't understand the dislike for those movies.
I'm just tired of arguing my point at this point, so I'm not going to get into it right now.
Don't argue your point, but let other people tell you what they don't like, and then just be like, "God, no, that's wrong." Ursa said, "We've been watching Project One Way. It's great, but now we just want the Trapper from R2-D2 to be in it with his wacky self-made clothes." I don't know what this means.
I didn't follow that sentence. I'm sorry.
Do you know who the Trapper from?
What is R2-D2?
RDR2.
RDR2. 2?
Yes.
Okay.
R2. It's too early to be mixing numbers and letters together in chat.
What is this? Algebra class?
I could have read it, but I'm blaming you instead. I could have done a better job with my reading comprehension, but instead I would like to yell at you over this. What are we drinking?
I got myself some chestnut tea to try and wake myself up. It's not really working as well as I'd hoped.
Doesn't smell good.
It's also dark again.
I like the rain. It's been nice.
I like the rain, but I need some sun when I first wake up to help me.
I'm gonna go walk in the rain. It's not raining though. We can't tell. We're not qualified to do the weather. We have a guy for that.
Aid1043 says, "What about the 1977 Japanese Spider-Man TV show? I don't know of anything about that. Please send me it." That sounds fantastic.
I also, I watched the SNL with Andrew Garfield before I watched the Spider-Man movies, and the SNL with Andrew Garfield is one of the best ones I've ever watched.
Which one is that?
The SNL with Andrew Garfield.
Oh, just the whole episode?
Yes.
Not like a specific thing from it?
I mean, there was
just
multiple...
Andrew Garfield being great?
Yeah, there were everything. It's one of my favorite SNLs just because he absolutely nailed everything he did, and it was super funny the whole way through. And then Emma Stone gets introduced, and it was really funny because they were, dating,
I do remember that,
for a while.
Has Andrew Garfield played an English person in a movie?
Yeah.
Because every single time I see him, he's playing an American.
He did like a British war movie or something.
Did he?
I think so.
It was really weird because he shows up. He's in Doctor Who. He's actually in old David Tennant episodes of Doctor Who, the most British show in existence, and he plays a New Yorker when they go to New York.
Hold up. I think people are offering other suggestions for best female characters of all time, and Phoenix Rising offered Sarah Connor, and Inferno offered The Bride and Kill Bill.
I mean, they're both good characters.
Is Sarah Connor a good character?
Yeah, definitely.
I remember watching
in the 80s, him. Female action protagonist that wasn't that didn't have any focus on her appearance at all. Do you remember Terminator 2?
I remember Alien.
She's in a... Yeah, she was an alien vibe as well. She was trapped in an insane asylum the whole time, and then fighting alongside Arnold Schwarzenegger.
Hell yeah!
And
I remember watching.
She was sweaty and gross the entire time, and it was great. It was it was very progressive as a female character for an 80s movie that just wasn't focused on being female at all. She was just an action star along with the rest of them. Not even in the way that
That's fine. It just maybe doesn't age as well, just because we sort of outgrew the idea that female characters can be one-dimensional.
I'm not even sure if she was one-dimensional.
What was her personality outside of being a badass fighter? I
haven't had to break it down in a long time. Don't take my lack of answer.
It might be too early.
As
I'm not
evidence
against it.
my argument.
I'm not against it, but
You've only you saw Terminator. I showed you Terminator 2 like once 3
chat.
years ago or something.
We're missing chat. Tell me what's happening.
Petit Trianon says that he loves us.
Oh, what's chat if not with Petit Trianon complimenting us?
Phoenix Rising says, "How did you feminism right? Give a girl a gun." It definitely was during that era where it was
What?
that was the sort of the method of like turn woman into man was the original version of this.
Who is?
What?
What did you say?
I'm talking about the trope
Yeah.
of like trying to make a
I
strong
literally
female
didn't
character
hear
by
the words you say. You said.
Giving.
What were the words that you just said?
Which ones? I've been talking for a while.
No, you just said something.
Did you hear the comment I was
Something
responding
about Gurren Lagann.
to? No,
Okay,
nothing about Gurren Lagann.
fine. My ears are clogged. Your ears are clogged. It's gonna be a rough morning. Phoenix Rising does say Ripley was probably better than Sarah Connor, so I'll allow it. I don't remember anything.
I have no stakes in either side of this fight. In my mind, they're both pretty on a fairly even playing field of like strong 80s female characters. The two strong 80s female characters from the movies.
There must have been more. I don't know.
No.
80s were what's chat saying? Oh, I'm drinking cinnamon roll coffee.
It's not working.
With extra creamer. I actually thought I was doing okay until people started wanting me to talk about things, and I was like, "What is life?"
Let's switch to let's get another headline up before we just rehash our same.
I like Princeps. Guys, a strong female character doesn't exist. Oh, doesn't equal best female character. Man, I gotta keep with the words. My eyes just like will look and then cross and then uncross and then cross and then uncross when I'm reading. So
it was the method for a few decades of like female characters were not considered good, and so in exchange they're like, okay, well we'll just make them equal to men, which is like it was an improvement. It just wasn't a complete fix to the problem. It just created some of its own problems.
Yeah,
the solution for a while was to create a strong female character, erase the feminine parts, and then eventually people were like, wait, no.
That was the 80s, though. That was actually first wave feminism and how that works.
Right, that's true. Yeah, it was a reflection of actual
feminism. You can kind of trace back to fashion, which is really interesting, because like
you can definitely track it through fashion. Yeah,
to be one of the in the first wave feminism, which technically started in the 20s, so that might have been second wave feminism in the 80s, which is essentially like the best way to be a woman was to wear man's suit and be and basically like tell men to address them as men.
Scully from X-Files. Actually, it was the epitome of this.
Yeah, essentially. They were just like, I demand the respect of a man. And then third wave feminism is, I demand the respect of a woman, which is equal to a man.
Right.
I'm gonna wear a skirt, too. So, the end. Dreon said Gurren Lagann is their favorite anime.
Right, I was trying to hope that you didn't see that so we didn't get into this conversation.
I was just gonna say that it's Ricky's favorite anime.
Oh, okay.
That's all.
Yeah, it is.
Well, you don't like me? You don't like my feminist rants anymore?
No, I love your feminist rants. I just thought we should maybe talk about something different this episode.
Do I have a problem? It's okay. You like how I comforted myself. That's feminism.
Yeah.
Werner says, "What is life?" Phoenix Rising said, "You okay, Allison?" I have no answers for either of these. Ursa asked, "Did I get a new creamer since it was bad yesterday?"
Oh, right.
Yes. I was extra worried today.
Did you use up all your little creamers already?
No, I
Is
had
that why you were
plenty of
using
those.
that? Oh.
I was just using the other one because of convenience, I guess.
Oh,
but
okay.
He's bad. So.
What's our next headline?
Right. Well, it's gonna be one of those. It's gonna be one of those days, huh? So this is relevant to what we watched last night, which is JonTron. We watched JonTron on a continuous loop. Because what else are we gonna do? Just kidding, we don't do that, but we would if we could. If you had enough content, we would just.
He's funny. He's just funny.
Yes. Oh wait, is that a controversial thing to say?
I don't know. People still watch him. I'm torn because he definitely has problems, but he's hilarious. So it's hard to not watch.
So Petite Trinon says, "I don't like feminism." There, I said it. Allison hates me. I already knew that, Petite. You didn't have to tell me. And I don't hate you. It says, the 2007 reality show Kid Nation had an accident where several kids required medical attention after drinking bleach that they had left unmarked in an unmarked soda bottle. Another injury happened to...
tell it was bleach.
Another injury happened to one 11-year-old girl who burned her face with splattered grease while cooking. Will you please educate our audience on this show concept, sir?
Well, JonTron has a video that some people have not seen yet.
You don't have to talk about JonTron, just the show concept.
Where he also covers this. But Kid Nation was a reality TV show back in like the early 2000s that I vaguely remember. I only vaguely remember JonTron's video on it too because I was falling asleep while it was on. So I'm not going to be rehashing what he said. I'm just going to say what I remember about the show. Which is they got
before you say anything, Dreon is absolutely terrified you're going to talk about his latest video. We're not going to talk about his latest video. We're going to talk about the show, which exists outside of his video.
Right, same topic.
Yeah,
but
no, it's okay. You didn't do anything. Go ahead.
It was back during like early days of reality TV, still being influenced by Survivor, I think, where people were like, "Oh yeah, we can just do this stuff for real," and there just weren't any real regulations on the stupid ideas people had. So someone was like, hey, what if we just got a bunch of children and stuck them out in the middle of a desert and forced them to build their own government from scratch? And then we filmed it. And that's what happened for like a season, and then people were like, this was bad. We shouldn't have done this.
Yeah, they basically they drop a bunch of kids off somewhere between the age of 8 and 15, and they all have to create a civilization in an abandoned western town. Yeah. And they didn't show any of the injuries that they're talking about, but it lasted one season because why? Because bad idea. And like one of it's just like a full show about kids crying. Because they're now ready to create... Mom, do you remember watching that? Kid Nation? Where they dropped all those kids off in that western abandoned town?
Inferno says, what is this, Lord of the Flies, the TV show? Pretty much, yeah.
I made you watch it? No one remembers Brat Camp. We were the only family that ever watched Brat Camp. So tragic. Anyway... It's just, I had to bring it up because my mom's face said it all when I'm like, do you remember Kid Nation? Her face just like lit up, but like in a dark way. I don't know if that makes any sense.
It was honestly, it's amazing. Like they bring these, it's like this old west town. They dump all these kids there. They're from like 8 to 15. They randomly put certain kids in charge, and they're not only the oldest kids. So there's like a 10-year-old like making decisions for like teenagers, and at the very beginning, they just get like this real like they just like dump class structure like class oppression on them immediately by driving all the kids out in this like janky old school bus, and then they helicopter in the leaders, and it just like dusts all the kids as it lands.
All right.
So they just immediately hate them.
So Orange Man is bringing up something that we've both been questioning for a while because we heard about the controversy around JonTron but couldn't like pinpoint it very well. He says to check out the live stream he did with streamer named Destiny.
Yeah, I've seen the clip.
Oh, you have?
Yeah.
Oh.
Yeah, no, JonTron said some bad stuff.
Was he canceled?
Well, kind of, but then he came back, I think is what it was. I think he went away for like a year or two.
Did he apologize?
He never really apologized, was the main problem. He never gave a solid apology. Yeah. He's...
Oops.
Yeah.
I should look into it further. I looked into it a little bit.
He's the only guy that I do this with at all, because I still will watch his videos occasionally. I didn't learn about him until... What?
Back up with the controversy.
I will still watch his videos occasionally. I didn't learn about him until last year. I didn't even know who he was.
Ricky introduced us.
And I started watching his videos, and they were funny. And then I figured out the stuff he did, and I was like, well, that's crappy. I guess I won't like buy anything from him or something. I'm not really sure what to do. I'm a little bit like, it's objectively bad, but he keeps putting videos out occasionally, and they're always... they're just so well done. It's infuriating. It's the only time I've actually had this issue.
Well, but
it doesn't forgive anything that he's done. I don't like talking about it because I feel like I've heard people make this argument about other artists is the problem, where they're like, well, but they're like separate the art from the artist, and like it's still worth watching, like consuming their stuff. And I don't usually.
You have to. So
agree with that wholeheartedly.
I'm usually big on like don't support people that you don't like. Right?
Yeah.
Don't support toxic or harmful people who have toxic or harmful views and actively harm other people. I'm pretty big on that element, and I'm willing to sacrifice the things in my life that require that. Like, there is no movie good enough to support somebody who's a horrible person, right?
Sure.
Like, that's not a thing to me. But the thing I remember reading about JonTron was a weirdly misquoted but somewhat accurate quote about I mean, there's a recording
of them. There's no misquote of what.
Well, I read it. I didn't
okay.
hear the thing, but it was something about Mexicans taking our jobs. That sort of that weird mentality of worrying about immigrants taking the jobs.
I don't remember the exact quote. I saw the clip, but I don't remember exactly
it's kind of
what
one of those like, how many grandparents do we have to cancel? And JonTron's not a grandparent. He should know better. But we're all going to be surrounded by people in our lives that are going to say things, and we have to be like, what did you mean? But I guess I haven't actually read anything about people confronting him about it, so I don't know the context of his explanation.
On
People say horrible things all the time.
He expressed like weirdly dated perspectives on like immigrants and stuff, which is strange because I think like both of his parents are technically immigrants, but like he said some like surprisingly.
Whoa, Petite Trinon's getting edgy, and I'm digging it.
I don't know if racist is the right word. It might be, from what he was saying. I think it was pretty much just straight up racism. I think you can
say racist things, but then someone has to go, did you know that was racist, and what did you mean?
Well, I think that was actually what it is, because the guy said that, giving him the opportunity to backtrack, and he did not. They were like, I may have misunderstood what you said. What exactly do you mean? Can you clarify this? And he clarified it with like, I don't think Mexicans should be coming into the country or something like that.
Okay, well, I have
very
some
much
research.
A paraphrase.
I have some research to do. I'll come back tomorrow.
I'm dancing around it because I don't remember exactly what he said, and I don't want to actually misquote what he said. So I would look into it yourself. I just know that there were he said racist stuff on a podcast.
Nailed it, dude.
Then
nailed it, guy.
Never really apologized for it, and so people don't really like him as much anymore.
Bruh.
Because that's what happens.
Bruh. All right, well, more research time, I guess. Petite and I believe Princeps are going back and forth about feminism in a wholesome way.
Oh, okay.
And I want to be included in that conversation. It's killing me, but it's okay.
It's
okay. It's fine. It's fine. They seem to be enjoying themselves, I guess. Kills me. I want to be in the trenches of the feminism discussions. It's okay. But I think it might be time to figure out what the hell's going on outside.
Oh, is it that time?
Is it not that time?
It might be.
Okay, great. Let's figure out what's going on outside. What? Oh, okay. Someone out of in quotes. It was nothing but noodles.
I'm done.
Nothing but noodles. Said in quotes, John argued that the most well-off black man is somehow more violent or more likely to be a criminal than the worst off whites.
If that's true, that is a different thing than the one I remember, which means he did multiple things.
That scared me though, because that's how you spell our John's name. And I was like trying to figure out like, is like, are we going to go through a whole controversy here suddenly? Like, did I miss something? But no, it's also how you spell JonTron's John. I was just like, it was just sort of placed there, and I was like, who? I'm gonna have to go in a second. Not against them, but just like I'm gonna have to. My brain's gonna have to like speed the hell up to know what's going on. How's Matt?
Let's find out.
All right. And by how's Matt, I mean what is it? I'm looking out the window. I can't even tell what's about to happen.
What is outside?
Allergies.
What is weather?
It's allergies.
Yeah, you're right.
It's always allergies.
Hello, Matt. I can't see you.
Hello.
There we go. What is happening?
What is that? You look like a pumpkin.
It's raining outside, so I'm swimming through.
Oh, it's raining? Is this your rain
Swimming
gear?
through
Is
the
it
rain.
raining?
Sure.
Did he say sure?
I don't see water on you.
Yeah, well, it's wet. It's wet around.
Okay.
Kind of.
So it has rained.
It rained recently. I feel drops. You can't see it, but I do feel drops. I wanted to
Being
wear
extra
this,
cautious.
okay?
We should. You got any puddles near you, Matt? I feel like we could test that mask out.
No.
Did you just turn him down?
No.
No, I just stopped talking because I was looking for a puddle. It's hard to breathe.
He's what?
It's kind of hard to hear you as well.
Nah, it's fine.
Well, I'm glad to see that you're taking the proper precautions.
I'm okay.
Oh, it's a. Oh, you put it up. Oh, I see. Very nice. It's a good look.
This one right here?
Yeah. I think I like it.
His shirt
God, I'm
is
fucking
looking good.
horrible.
It's true. Your shirt has convinced me.
No one look at my address.
Yeah, probably a good idea. So it's wet. Is that the what else?
Yeah, it's wet and gloomy. The sun is behind a big thick cloud. The water is on the ground. The water is in the air. The water is in the clouds. The water soon will be on my head.
What are the best activities for weather days like this?
I took a walk outside yesterday. There wasn't lightning, so it was safe. I went to the local middle school in some weather-appropriate gear. And I was kind of laid around under the spigots and I opened my mouth, went and
Wow.
splashed
Are
around in
you-
the puddles.
How you feeling today then?
Fine.
You just sort of drank the water out of a gutter?
Yeah.
Yeah. No, that's cool. I
Yeah.
did that the other week too.
It makes you strong. That's why I don't have the Rona yet, because I have my immune system is all
Oh my gosh, Matt, no.
full of
Matt.
little beasties that are stronger than Corona.
That's a bold tactic, for sure.
Yeah, don't do any of that. Don't listen to anything I say ever. I'm wrong about everything. I've never been right about anything ever.
Are you a medical professional?
Not a medical professional. I'm not a professional in any way, shape, or form. The only thing that I could say that I've been trained in, I went to a film school that was 2 out of 4 floors of an office building. I'm not even close to informed on anything. Do not listen to me. So
Well,
it's
that's why
gonna
we hired
rain
you for the
today.
weather.
It's gonna rain today, probably. Yep.
How's the allergy status? Because I plan on taking a few walks today.
The allergies are good because
They're
the rain has washed the pollen away or whatever. If you're
Sick, dude.
if you're allergic to different things than I am, then there's no helping you. But if you have this very same specific allergies as me, you're fine.
Okay, good.
Good to know.
I'm sure we probably have the exact same allergies.
Bring a light jacket. It's a little cold.
All right.
Wow, yeah. Matt,
thank you,
how?
Matt. Oh, wait, are
okay.
we-
No,
nope.
it's fine.
Too late. I already
Nope.
said it. We're leaving.
All right. Bye, Matt. It was great. You look like you're having a blast.
Okay. See
Yeah.
you next time.
Yeah.
Okay. What a gem. I like that Matt has a new thing. Which is no longer Venice, but now the Shroud nonsense.
Yeah.
I haven't
A
played
different
I
religion.
haven't played Stellaris, so I don't know what any of that is.
Same.
What?
I played some Stellaris, but I got a real big shout out to everybody in the Discord who helped me review the script, because that really made a huge difference. I took the script this time, and I asked everybody who played Stellaris in the Discord to look over it and basically nitpick it to hell and tell me everything that the commenters were going to point out that I got wrong after I published the video.
Yeah.
So they did that first, and then I was able to go back in and readjust things. I also did it with the help of John, because John has played a lot of Stellaris, and so he helped finish up the final version and make sure everything made sense.
Rate your life on a scale of 1 to 10, like right now.
my whole life?
Yeah, just like the whole, like your whole
Where
life.
is this coming from?
I'm just asking a question.
10.
10. All right, now rate your life without Matt Locke in it. 2. I knew he was
Damn.
gonna say it. Agreed.
I don't know. Yeah, like at least half those points have to go away.
Wow. Okay, that's fine. I assume I'm the rest of the half.
Yeah.
Wow, it got dark. Look at our thing.
Yeah.
We look dark and spooky, dude.
We do.
Not completely blown out. What's happening? Oh, okay. I think they're talking about Mozart.
Oh.
I know
I missed something.
nothing about that. It's I don't like classical music. Do you have any controversial
Who does?
music opinions?
No, I don't have any music opinions.
I have controversial music opinions. I also don't like the Beatles.
That's fine. I don't.
Making sure my mom didn't hear me.
I didn't develop music. I have music tastes, but I never got into the music world, so I don't have any opinions on like which artists are good or I'm not familiar enough with music yet. I've
Really?
only just now started watching. I appreciate most music, I would say, just because I don't have any opinions or stake in it.
I've been kicked off
I just
the
sort
show.
of absorb whatever comes at me. So like Beatles are fine.
I agree with Allison, but quietly. I've really tried. They're just not like my jam. I don't know.
Yeah, it's not specifically my taste either, but I don't have anything like.
So
I'll
you know what I
listen to it.
do love? I love ethereal, like garden music. That's what I call it. It's like one singular woman who sounds exactly like she's either a harp or a piano, singing words I can't understand that sound like it would narrate you being lost in like an oversized garden. Do you know what I'm talking about?
Yes.
Yeah,
That was a very
I like that sound.
Specific description.
I love that sound, and it's probably the closest I could get to like classical, where like it sounds like harps should be in the background, or like a not an organ. Organs are probably the worst instruments ever invented. Kick them out, get them gone. We don't need them. Name one use for an organ. You can't. No one wants it.
You can't get rid of them. They're built into the buildings. They're
Get
stuck there
just
forever.
take the whole building out and throw it in the trash. But yeah, I tried to get. You don't know any songs by the Beatles, do you? Not a single one.
No, I know the popular ones.
Like what?
Like Hey Jude and Yesterday, and I know the different ones.
Okay, it turns out I don't know any songs by the Beatles. I know Hey Jude.
I'm not like familiar. I don't know all the lyrics or anything, but like I know them. I've heard them.
Yeah. Yeah, no, they're not my favorite, but I've been told I had bad music taste like my whole life, so I just sort of don't tell people my music taste because they're like, it's bad music.
The 80s sound in general like isn't high on my list of like just things I enjoy listening to, but that's fine.
The what? What was?
Like the 80s and before sound.
I
don't
love
really, like-
80s. I love 80s
Yeah.
music. Love it. The other thing I don't like about 80s music is the loudness of voice to instrument ratio that happens. Like it's just like it's so much freaking
Sound mixing,
instruments.
I guess, wasn't as developed at the time.
But it was also a specific style.
I like modern music done in 80s style, but I don't
Yeah.
always like music from the 80s as much.
You like 80s inspired
Yeah.
music for sure. Petite also hates the Beatles.
I like music.
Murnaugh says, controversial opinion, space rock / lounge rock combo is the best genre. I have no idea what that means.
My preferred genres that I usually go to are like the sound of the emotion melancholy, like of Monsters and Men style, or music that sounds the way that Thor Ragnarok looks. Those are the two ends of my spectrum.
Okay.
It's either like happily depressed or retro pop superhero. Those are the two.
Retro pop superhero is also the genre of 80s music that I enjoy the most.
Okay, yeah.
So, we're getting some music opinions that I'm finding enjoyable to read. Organs are great for creepy horror villain tropes.
That's true. That's kind of, I guess, I actually like that there's so many different kinds of music and that music encompasses every single feeling you could want, I guess is what it is. I'm not specifically interested in one particular kind of music just because I come at it from a filmmaking perspective, I guess. Whenever I'm listening to songs that I get into, it's usually because I can picture a scene going along with it.
Yeah.
So I'm not really picky on genre because I think I've seen a lot, like pretty much every kind of music be used really effectively because they all have different applications. So
yeah, I'm trying to think if there's like I'm trying to think of music that like I despise.
There's not a whole lot that I absolutely hate.
I would say that I hate mumble rap.
I was gonna say I'm not a huge fan of the mumble rap style.
But I would also put Post Malone's songs in there, and he sings some really good songs for the Spider-Verse soundtrack.
Yeah, Into the Spider-Verse started changing my mind on some of it, so...
But, like, he had, like, a really cute, like, jam behind it.
The way to my heart is Spider-Man. Doesn't matter what you want me to get me into. If you can relate it back to Spider-Man, I will...
How did we end up married? I had no Spider-Man. Nothing. I offered no Spider-Man for you. I had no favorite Spider-Man movie. I did not watch Spider-Man. He was not my favorite. I had no Spider-Man knowledge or trivia.
It's alright, I had Ian. I had this taken care of from a different source.
That's true. Alright, you were getting Spider-Man from other sources in your life. I see how it is. I do remember, though, did I talk about this? Did I talk about the Batman thing last chat?
I don't think we talked about that on a stream.
So I hate Batman. I think he's the worst. And I know I've said this on stream, but I don't know if I talked about my dating story, which is that I would go on dates. I was like dating for like 2 years. I might have, but every time...
No, you talked about this on Ian's stream, I think is what it was.
Oh, that's right.
Yeah.
Every time I went on a date, like one of the first things I would mention on the date is how much I hate Batman. Because like you just go through all the date questions. One of them's like, do you have a favorite superhero? Yeah, it was. It quickly eliminated multiple people. I'd be like, I need to tell you right now on this date, I don't like Batman. And there were 2 reactions. One of them was like, oh, that's fine. And the other one was like, what? Why? And we usually didn't go out on a second date just because like Batman fans are like Batman fans, and they just don't understand when people don't love Batman. And it was crazy because I would literally this is how I like I convinced guys that I wasn't gonna like to not like me first, which was really enjoyable by just being like, hey, I know we just sat down and spent 20 minutes and all I know is like your name, but I don't like Batman, so is that gonna be a problem? I did it to you too.
Yeah,
I remember saying it.
Yeah, I can kind of remember that.
It wasn't a date, but I do remember being like, by the way, don't like Batman. The end.
Yep.
That's all. We all have something, right? But then were we talking to Inferno about this? Is that what it was?
Maybe.
He was like, but you just need to watch the Batman, the 1977 Batman
That's
series
what it was.
or whatever.
We were talking to Inferno about it. Yeah. Yeah.
Makes sense. I haven't seen those conversations.
Well, so this is there was my argument was Batman has been redone in so many different genres and perspectives, and I'm still not really interested, which I think just means the character doesn't work for me.
Yeah.
But Inferno did mention the Batman animated series, which is supposed to be like the best Batman, and I have not seen that. So that might be great.
It might. Probably not, though. It's Batman.
Yeah,
okay, but they're supposed to be great. Like, the newest Batman movies are supposed to be amazing.
The newest?
Yeah, like the Christopher Nolan Batman movies.
Oh, yeah. Well, they are good movies. The movies are great. I still don't like Batman. There's a difference. The Dark Knight is a great movie. I don't have to like the characters of the Batman and the Joker.
I can't separate them from each other.
As a movie.
More spandex equals more fun. Don't know why, but yeah, sure. I'm all in on that.
I guess I'm just I really love the Marvel take on superheroes, so I pretty much like the direction of the MCU is everything I ever want out of life. I am their exact target demographic. They just won. I have to acknowledge that when talking about them, because I'm just not a DC person. I am a Marvel person through and through. That tone is what I like. Batman and DC heroes don't really have the tone that I care for. Yeah, it is. But yeah.
You like Teen Titans?
Yeah, I do. That didn't feel like it had a different tone, though.
It had a totally different tone.
I like the cartoony. Superheroes are wish fulfillment and crazy and kind of stupid, and I like it when they embrace that. I think.
I don't know what kind of thing it was, but the little GIF went.
Oh, we got to follow.
Hey, thanks.
Thank you. So yeah, that's why I like the Marvel stuff embraces the kind of like we are in bright, colorful superhero costumes, and this is the point. And most of the DC stuff feels like it's embarrassed to be superhero themed, and so it's just kind of hard to go. Like I remember watching Man of Steel, which is not a good movie for a lot of reasons, but one of the biggest thing was like I couldn't get over the fact that they so clearly didn't want to be making a Superman movie. Like they avoided saying the Superman words. They like they wouldn't say the word kryptonite. They had a weird explanation for like where the S was like a symbol from his homeworld or something instead of being like an S for Superman. And I made a joke about this in our video that I made a while ago with Awesome Man with the A.
Oh yeah.
Where it's like it's a symbol from my homeworld.
Right.
Right. Okay, well here's an A, so own it or change it. But yeah, I think that's kind of why it kind of feels like there are certain iterations of Batman where it's like I'm dark and gritty and also I dress like a bat and this is serious, and I'm like, no, it's not. You're dressed like a bat. That's not serious.
The best superhero content ever made is Teen Titans.
I won't argue.
You don't have to.
I don't hold the same opinion, but I won't argue with it either.
I mean, I'm just like trying to think of anything else that's supposed to be more like for my taste specifically. I just can't think of anything. The new Spider-Man movies are good. I like those.
The Tom Holland Spider-Man movies are my favorite live-action ones.
I love all of the Avengers series.
I
love
good.
all
I want to go
of the
back
Avengers.
and rewatch them at some point.
I do too. We should do that.
Yeah,
those
it'd be
are
fun
really, really good.
Because now it's just a TV show. It's just a really long TV show that took place over several years.
Sorry, I don't mean the individual ones. I mean the Avengers.
Oh, like the group ones?
Yes, I like those. I don't necessarily like the individual ones nearly as much. Thor Ragnarok.
It's more of a grab bag. It depends.
Thor Ragnarok is the perfect example of how to do like the best superhero movie. I think.
But it was just fun. It was just they went in with like it's Thor. We're just gonna make it fun. We're throwing Jeff Goldblum in there.
Always
we're adding the Hulk
idea.
just because we can.
Also a good idea.
It felt like a comic book. That was the thing.
The Hulk is so attractive, and I need somebody. Like I've talked to other people about this, and I can't figure out like where it comes from.
It's such a weird conversation.
It doesn't make any sense because I don't even understand it. Because like he is definitely a giant hulking green monster, but like why am I so into it? Like what's going on?
I don't have an answer for you.
Is it because it's Mark Ruffalo? Because that's.
I mean, yeah, probably.
But he's better than Mark Ruffalo. Like Mark Ruffalo is great, but then like Mark Ruffalo as Hulk is best. And it's just like it must hit the same Mr. Tumnus thing.
It's probably that thing where it's like because he's relatable, nice, like emotional, supportive scientist man, but also he can turn
like
into a hulking green monster and fight off literally anyone if they come at you. So he's like he's literally the whole package.
That's what it is. Yes. And what's best about it is you can't blame him for like toxic masculinity or anything. He literally turns into a monster. So it's like he's just a cuddle fest of a person who's incredibly smart and kind and sensitive. Then he turns into a giant green monster who will murder all of your enemies, and then you don't even have to be mad at him because he's not a bad guy. He's not even the same guy. So he does actually he's just a girl's dream.
He hits those weird like unrealistic fantasy points of any real life person.
He does.
People make this argument about actual people, and it's like, no, they're just a violent, angry sociopath.
Right.
You're just making excuses for them.
Right, and that's not cute. It's not cute when they consciously kill people.
Right.
But when you turn into like a literal hulking
when they accidentally
monster,
kill people, it's adorable.
Well, I mean, like he's not in control, so it's like cute.
Right.
You know. Anyway, that's all. I like. I'm sorry, chat. I disappeared. It's Big Ruffalo. Agreed.
Are you intentionally doing the hair twirl thing the entire time you're talking about this?
I started it, and then it just like it got me thinking, and then it just kept going. But you know, I don't know why that happened. Honestly, what video are people talking about? Though
I brought up the superhero one. I'm blanking on the name again because I can't remember names of anything right now.
Oh, with the A.
Yeah,
that's what you're talking
with
about.
Awesome Man, our video.
Yeah.
The superhero roommates one. That's honestly probably one of my favorites too. That was a fun one. It was a good script. But yeah, so that's why I'm a Marvel guy. I just don't have enough darkness in my soul to appreciate the psychological implications of Batman villains, I guess.
What about the half Hulk of Endgame? No, that didn't work the same way.
No, when they were combined, it's not the same thing.
No, it wasn't. No, because the murder part was gone.
The murder part's
like
gotta
part
be
of
there.
it. I mean, yeah, kind of. Like it's this weird because like I think most girls want a guy who would like murder all their enemies, but not the guy who would murder all their enemies, right? Like it's like you know, like stand up for your wife and stuff, but not like things that put you in prison.
Half good, half bad, halfboy.
Yes,
That's what
half
you need.
good, half bad, half boy. Those are the best ones. That's a Bo Burnham thing. Go look it up. Just culturize yourself with Bo Burnham things.
Watch all of Bo Burnham's stand-up if you haven't seen it yet. It's the best.
So Phoenix Rising says Allison wants a snuggling man that has a violent persona like dissociative personality disorder. Also see James McAvoy in Split, I think. Splunk.
I don't know which one you're trying to say.
It's the M. Night Shyamalan series. Glass.
Oh, that
Split.
one. Okay.
Something
Yeah,
else.
yeah.
I think. Is that M. Night Shyamalan?
Yes, it is.
It is.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I actually haven't seen those yet, and I really need to.
Yeah.
They're like pretty cornerstone, like super. Or not. They're not cornerstone, but they're kind of fringe superhero movies, but they're like really. They've been around for a long time, like from before superhero movies were like even like a big genre. So I need to go back and watch those.
I love when chat makes fun of me. They're the best. I dig it. It changes me every time, but like in a good way. Like I just Puffle Master says, Allison, are you implying that girls can't murder their own enemies? You said you were a feminist. It's a fair point. But you understand how girls strong enough to murder their own enemies would let men do it for them, right? Like that's feminism. You allow it? I mean, no. Okay, so one, don't let anybody murder anybody. But
I think whatever visceral thing that's happening with the Hulk probably isn't related to feminism. It's just kind of like
if I just liked creepy murder men, I'd like Batman.
Right. I think that was a good conclusion to that conversation. Let's get one more headline in there before,
Right. Sorry.
before we get to the end of the show.
Should we press the button or should we do another headline?
Let's get the headline. I feel like we're on a roll with the headlines.
Okay.
They're sparking some good stuff today.
Okay.
Or we are, and I'm just confusing the two.
Could be. Uh-oh. Oh, here, let's keep it on the Batman track.
Oh, is there a Batman-related headline?
Yes, there is.
Oh.
This is it.
All right.
You're going to be so disappointed when I read this. Today I learned actor Robert Pattinson dealt with an obsessed fan who had been camping outside of his apartment by taking her out on a dinner date. I just complained about everything in my life and she never came back. He's the new Batman.
Right.
Yeah, you're welcome.
Huh.
Could you imagine being a celebrity, like everyone wants to date you, but you know deep down that your personality is so bad that you could take out your most obsessed fan and they would hate you?
I had to think about this. It takes me forever to process things, but the more I think about this, I actually think that's a fantastic way to deal with the problem.
Oh, do you?
Kind of. Like just going like, okay, look, I'm a person. Here's all the things about me. You sure you still... Because the only reason they're obsessing is because they've got this weird image of who they've decided the celebrity is in their head, right? And they're projecting that onto you, even though that's not real at all. So just going like, no, I'm right down here in the mud with you, and here's all the reasons why, and just making it like incredibly clear what that is.
Yeah, yes. Well, I just think it's like a hilarious joke. In just like, people are obsessed with me, and then so I let them know who I was, and now they're not. And it's like, thank you for acknowledging celebrity culture perfectly.
Because the kind of person who's going to obsess over you isn't thinking about you as a normal person, I think is what it is. It's not that just like that's the way. Well, I'm just responding to Phoenix Rising said, so he just acts like a normal dude and that scares women away. It wouldn't scare all women away, but it's going to scare away the people, the women who are projecting this image onto him of like this, celebrity.
Well, I bet
person.
he probably has like real actual problems.
Yeah, like a human.
Well,
like everyone else.
so I did keep up with this because I was a big Twilight fan. But he was dating the chick from Twilight, Kristen Stewart or whatever.
Yeah.
And then in the middle of filming, she cheated on him with the director who was married and had kids or something. And that was like a whole thing because they were going to get married and they were super in love and they were like dark and edgy together outside a set. And then also like he just being famous comes with so many freaking problems that I wouldn't want to have or want to be involved with someone who had. So he's got like the worst girlfriend past. Then he just like on top of it has people constantly stalking him. So like bring that up. Like, hey, you think you were bad? Imagine all the other people stalking me literally constantly. Like you want in on that? But I just like the idea that he has a horrible personality. That's what I was just hoping for. Like he just took her out knowing he was gonna suck. Like he's like, I know I'm horrible. I'll just show her how horrible I am.
Either way, I think it's a great method.
Would you do that?
I think it's solid.
Would you do that?
I might now that I've thought about it.
No, it wouldn't work for you.
It probably
you have
wouldn't.
no problems. You're so sweet. You're such a nice
I'm
guy.
too good.
Literally though.
I saw a comment I wanted to... Oh, Princeps says the best Batman thing is that video Batman 10-hour seizure. You're absolutely correct. It is so 2008 funny, and I still laugh at it every single time. 10-hour seizure.
What?
It's this looped video clip of Adam West Batman just sort of like looking like he's like spasming out because it's just going back and forth, and it has that weird audio clip of the guy going like playing over the background of the entire thing. It's very mid 2000s internet funny.
I'm excited then.
It's not it does not hold up to modern day TikTok humor, I don't think, but
I'm excited for this idea. I think this is amazing. I thought you meant the I think it was Funny or Die did the Batman skit where he doesn't murder anybody.
Is it Funny or Die or is it College Humor? Which one did the Batman series?
Or is it Comedy Central?
It wasn't Comedy Central. It was an internet one. I did like the Batman.
I don't remember
whichever
who it
one
was.
did the Batman shorts.
That one was
on the
really
internet were good.
That one like summed up a lot of concerns I had about Batman, but never actually like brought up. But like, I just that's always kind of bothered me. Like superheroes that don't kill people.
Which ones are you talking? Oh, you're talking about. Were you talking about the one with the penguin in it? Were you talking about? Yeah,
the one where Batman doesn't kill people, then he proceeds to literally murder a room full of people,
right.
And they're just like, oh,
they're just sleeping or something,
right? Like the idea that he delusionally lies to himself about how many people he's just like regularly murdering.
Yeah,
that makes sense to me. Let's see, what does chat say? What? Okay, that's something. Somebody brought up Die Hard, and I was like, what happened?
I like that we tried to bring up a different headline and just
it was
ended
just
up back on Batman.
It could have been Twilight, though. We could have gone the Twilight route, because I could talk about Twilight for millions of years, probably. I love Twilight. Not the movies.
I had no experience with it.
I hate being that kind of fan, though. But the movies suck. They really do. But the books were solid.
That's, valid.
Honestly,
they're made by different people.
I'm so mad that Twilight got the crap that it did because it's just left over, like toxic masculinity leaked over from like 2007 or whenever those books were coming out. Because women were like, I like this type of men. And men were like, wow, let's shit on that book for like a decade because I'm so insecure about my own personality. And then
I don't know what to feel about it because I've heard people that I respect the opinions of say opposing things about the books at different points.
Ian likes them.
And so, does he?
I think, I could be, okay, so Ian either definitely hated him or thought the books were okay. I think he thought the books were okay.
The most I've heard, I know everybody universally agrees that the movies aren't good.
Yeah, and then the books
I've heard mixed opinions on, and I never read them, so I don't know.
The first 2 or 3 are okay. I don't remember if there's 4 or 5. There's 2 good ones and 2 bad ones, and I think the second and the last one are bad, and the first and the third one are good. But they did some problematic things, even in the story. But for the most part, the books were like totally fine and well written. It was just like it was a campaign. There was a campaign against Twilight, and everyone bought into it. A perfectly fine teen novel book about vampires and werewolves, which was really unique at the time.
I never heard cogent arguments against it. I was in high school at the time, so it was mostly it just sounded like people going, ugh, glittery vampires, gross and stupid, and then everybody just sort of echoed that same opinion without having experienced it.
That's actually the worst opinion. Of all of the opinions to have about Twilight, glittery men being your problem is the worst opinion to have.
Would you prefer glittery men to non-glittery men?
Yes! Every single time! I don't, that's, of all the things to be upset
No one had this
about.
problem with David Bowie.
True! True.
He was a glittery man.
Can we talk about cold, pale, glittery men that are skinny and have weird personalities? The 80s. No one crapped all over
all
that.
of the 80s.
And then everyone's like, ooh, Twilight, ooh. It was literally like, it was like a smear campaign, like against a book that children liked. Well, actually, I think it got bad because adult women started enjoying it too, and men were having none of that.
It did end up having like a little bit of like a.
What is chat saying? I've been ranting, so I need chat to bring me down. Ursa says the book sucked, Allison. Thanks.
If I'm wrong, tell me calmly and don't attack me. But it did almost seem like it got a little bit of like the brony problem, just slightly, where it got like an unintended fan base attached to it that got way too into it and may have like maybe the backlash was against some of the people that liked it more than it was against the actual book. Because again, I don't think most of the people who complained about it ever actually read it.
Right.
I think they just didn't like the culture that generated around the book.
So you're right. What happened was girls were reading the books, then their mothers started reading the books, and all women collectively enjoyed Twilight because there were hot men in it.
Sure.
Not just like hot men, but like they were good characters. We liked reading about them. The relationship was interesting. There were attractive men that existed, and girls were like, I'm so in. Like girls of all ages were like, I dig these characters, and men were like, why are women so obsessed? They like something, and so we must hate it. I cannot live. My girlfriend is more in love with Edward than me. That started making its way around the internet, and as a result, women bounced back like way too hard, like straight into like I would kind of agree, just like that territory of like toxic fandoms where they just like defended it to a fault, and it became like everyone wore
like,
Edward
this is my
Cullen.
religion now.
Well, because there was a large fan base for it that was split. Like the Edward versus the Jacob thing was a big thing, but there's also like Ravenclaw versus Hufflepuff from Harry Potter, and no one's bitching about that. So, like, let people live, I guess. I don't know. But then, yeah, there was some men were all upset, and then women were like, "Yo, you don't even know what we could do," and then it completely spiraled. So everyone was at fault, but the only people who weren't at fault were the people who just liked reading the damn books. They were just shit all over.
Sure.
The end. I need to read some comments.
Let's get a couple more chat messages in here before we close out the show. We're getting close to the end here.
Phoenix Rising said,
minutes.
toxic masculinity gets even worse with 50 Shades of Grey. The whole thing is just no. Correct. Don't bother. 50 Shades was a fan fiction based off the Twilight books, I think.
Right, yeah, that's what it was. It started as Twilight fan fiction, and they just changed the names around and stuff.
Right.
Published it as a book.
It was such a weird time. What was that, like 2010, when people are like, it's smut, let's publish it. It was so weird. It was weird. I read the first one because it was like trending and everyone was talking about it, and I just remember being like, everything about this is strange.
Was it a good story, or was it just fan fiction?
No, it was labeled as for a very long time, and I think correctly so, like mommy smut, right. I think is what it was, because 50-year-old women were picking it up and were like, this is amazing. But there's no story. It's all really weird. It's a whole thing and a half that's not appropriate for chat to get into. Let's see. I think we triggered something with the sparkly 80s men. The sea arsonist says, I'm just listening to decide if I'm going to read these. I'm out of light reading. Honestly, if you read the first Twilight book, you will be so underwhelmed with the reaction that people had to it. You're going to be like, that was perfectly fine. And then you're going to move the fuck on. Because it's a book for 15-year-old girls. The end.
Marinelle says, that's why Kyle is bulking up so he can kill Allison's enemies with his bare hands.
Yes.
Yeah. Look out. Here it comes.
I have a surprisingly few amount of enemies for you to murder.
Yeah.
There are people that don't like me.
No, you're definitely angrier at people than they ever are at you.
It's true. I should probably like consider that about myself, but it's true. I'm convinced that people hate me, so I decide to hate them first. And if they just are like, I don't hate you, then I never had any, like the animosity just disappears. But
problem is they're never going to say that because they don't know you hate them.
You're right. There's weird tension for the rest of our lives because no one knows if like it's sort of like it's like you just, yeah, we just walk up to each other and we're like, and then we walk away. Someone said something about the books, right? Oh, Princeps says, I thought the Twilight was a 50 Shades of Grey kind of book. No. Different books. Different types of books.
50 Shades of Grey came from Twilight.
But it's not a Twilight.
But isn't Twilight related?
No, they're... Phoenix Rising said, Allison's Table Flip should be a podcast. Okay. As of right now, at least one person is asking for a feminist rant series. And I am...
Is that all it takes?
All for it. I could do this about literally anything.
That's
you
true.
could bring up, say one word, any word.
Water.
Yep, thought of something. Literally thought of something. Stay tuned for my series where I discuss the feminism in the water industry.
Is Digby here?
Oh, I hope not. I've been making a fool of myself.
Phoenix Rising says, hey, Digby. People are saying hi. Oh, yeah, there he is.
Oh, yeah,
Hi.
all right.
Thanks for tuning in.
We're leaving, but
We are closing the show down. But thanks for popping in. Digby voiced the bird in the Stellaris video yesterday, so if you haven't seen that yet, be sure to go check that out. It's got like 60,000 views in the first day.
You don't think Digby already watched it?
No, he did.
Oh.
I'm telling other
you're
people.
promoting the... Oh, yeah. I bet every 63 people here have already seen the Stellaris video.
Yeah, probably.
Good. Thank you. We appreciate it. Genuinely.
Digby says my timing is, as always, is impeccable. You are very good at jumping in right at the very end of the stream.
Is this an English thing?
I don't know.
Is there an English
Why
trope
do you
about
ask?
English people being like exactly late?
Can you has this happened with other English people you know, or are you
No.
just extrapolating from this one person?
I'm just guessing. Yeah, just by this one
That's called
experience, I would like
stereotyping.
to judge an entire group of people. 'Cause I just thought it would be cute. Like British people are always late. That's like a cute thing. But he's not late
Sure.
but it's not even late specifically. He wasn't late. He just showed up to something happening at the end. That's a different thing.
Yeah,
Is that a thing British people do?
sure.
Look, they describe themselves as quirky first. I'm just trying to figure out where the quirks lie. Make a picture out of a puzzle piece.
Well, I think that marks the end of this show. Our brains have turned off. We're gonna go take care of ourselves today, get some exercise in, eat well.
Are we?
Yep, that's what we're doing.
I have a pizza in the fridge.
We're doing good things today.
I have a pizza and dumplings.
Those will stay in the fridge.
Okay.
Thank you guys for tuning in. Be sure to go watch the Stellaris video if you haven't. If we hit 200,000 views in the first month, Paradox pays us more money.
At least
So we're trying to.
At least 7 people are interested in my feminist rant series. So. I'll call it feminist with an axe.
We got
Acts of feminism.
upcoming podcasts. We got more of our
Acts of feminism.
acts of feminism. Yeah. Yes, that's a new podcast coming up. Me and Ian talking about Doctor Who will happen at some point, and we're gonna do more of our
I'll make you guys do that.
our futurism podcast. Please do. I want to do that. I also want to talk to Ian. I feel like I haven't talked to Ian in a very long time.
Acts of feminism.
And we have 2 episodes of Kiln Spark filmed that I just haven't edited, so I'm going to throw those up on the podcast channel fairly soon, too.
8 people will
So.
listen to my podcast.
Check those out on Door Monster Podcast, as well as the other episodes of OK We're Up, which I will also attempt to catch up on
Why are you
uploading.
promoting the channel so much?
What?
Why are you promoting the channel so much?
What do you mean? Door Monster Podcast?
Oh, you can promote that one. Sorry,
Yeah.
never mind.
We only have 2,000 subscribers there. So yeah, go check those
All right.
out. We'll be back tomorrow morning. Have a good day, and we'll see you guys tomorrow. Thanks for coming.
Bye, guys.
Bye.
You're the best.